Yeah, no Hardaway, Penny, no Hardaway. Yo, what
Get
up,
out your
Mo?
nose, nigga. Know what I'm
Yo, you
saying?
right, you right.
Shit is
Yeah,
on.
shit is crazy. Happy New Year, Mo. What up?
Yo, Happy New Year, my
2026.
nigga. Toast.
2026.
26 gonna be lit.
2026. No songs with Mariah, but we on fire like Uncle Murder. Yo, shout out to Uncle Murder. Wrap up
Yo,
all day, every day. 50 Cent. Shout out to the kid 50.
true.
Yayo, G Unit. Word up. Peace to y'all. 26. Happy New Year.
Yo,
We here live and direct.
just regular crew in person. You know what I'm saying? You got the
Yeah.
perfect blend. You got the Boricua and the Dominicano, and we here. Some regular shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We in the H-Town right now. About to get this first episode for the year going on. It's gonna be a good year for us. You ready? I hope y'all ready. Yeah. Shout out to the rapper. I know we thought Uncle Murder was gonna stop doing it, but to be honest, it's a good thing because you forget about all the shit that goes on. Yeah,
I think it was too eventful of a year.
it was too crazy.
And
He had to do it, right?
He had to. I mean, you saw he
Yeah.
started joining.
Yeah.
And then he went to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yo, it's just like we were saying, like it started off with the shootings and then all the crazy stuff January 1st, right? Like it's nuts. The good thing is, fortunately, we haven't heard anything, you know, it's too super crazy. We've heard some things, right? Which we could get into and we'll continue to get into for the year. But you know, I think it's always good, to go through the culture. Then there's other recaps that they have, whether it's like the news channels, things like that. But for the culture, I think it's always good to tune into your man Uncle Murder's joint, so we could kind of go through again what exactly was going on, and he does it to the very last day,
yo, man.
which is fire, right?
Yo,
So
man.
yeah.
There was he's so eloquent with it, though. I ain't even gonna front, dog. Yo, the way he puts it together is just fucking hilarious. Y'all ain't check out the Uncle Murder rap,
Yo,
man. Y'all
check
gotta go
out
check
the
that shit,
wrap up.
yo. It won't disappoint and never does.
Word. Now,
Murder, man. What's
now,
up? What's up?
RIP to 2025.
There's a lot of things we RIP'd in 2025.
Hey, yo, word. Like, what we gonna talk about? We gonna talk about the Metro card, New York City Metro card. RIP.
Well, dog, you better have your flip phone ain't gonna work, bro.
Yeah.
Flip phone ain't working out here.
Flip phone ain't working.
You gonna have to get that smart joint that you know, you're gonna load up your money, don't lose it, don't get it stolen.
Yeah, and don't tell on yourself. Don't put yourself out there trying to show everybody how to get through the turnstile. We saw this already. You gotta chill. You gotta be careful, right? Don't do that, please.
If you think that Mendani ain't gonna use the robots that my man already put in place, you're mistaken. The
What's that?
robots is coming.
What's that movie, Code 8 or some shit like that? Netflix. You didn't see that shit with the robots and shit?
Enhanced human dude?
They had the robot dogs and then the dude that had
I'm gonna have to check that.
that had the
out.
electric power and shit. You didn't see that? Hey, you gotta check it out.
I seen the
think
first
it's
one. I
Code
think
8.
there's two. There's two,
Yeah,
right?
there's part
I
one
seen
and
the
part
first one.
two.
I seen the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah, you gotta check it out. But yeah, I think that's kind of what we going into.
Yo, we gotta get ready.
Yeah.
They supercharging this technology shit, man. Don't fall behind.
Don't fall behind.
Do
And that's
not fall behind.
we gonna keep talking about
Get
it.
your fucking crypto, get your fucking Venmo, whatever it is that you use, bro. Get it together.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to talk about this type of stuff. What you do get together, you gotta think about how do you maintain that shit
I
too,
mean,
right?
it's kind of like it made no sense because we all saw like silver going crazy, but I promise you, they taking us digital, man. They taking out what else? Isn't there another thing that RIP?
Yeah, so speaking of silver going crazy, right? You got that silver rising. We had RIP to the penny. RIP to the penny. So slowly, we are seeing change go away, right? Like, to Mo's point about crypto and everything like that, like digital currencies. Now we're starting to see coins go away. And with that,
It's a slow buildup. It's a slow build up in the transition.
So it's like, do you think about it this way, Mo? Like when the cassette tapes was going, now you got these, I guess,
But I
cassette
feel like
players
people
considered as antiques,
but
right?
people were never concerned about like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, cassette's going away and that. You know which one I remember people was really upset about?
What's that?
When the Easy Pass was first coming in. Remember that?
Yo, the Easy
Oh
Pass, yo,
man, is it yo,
word.
they gonna take all the toll booths,
Yo,
they
that's a
gonna
that's a good one,
remember?
actually. That's a real
Remember?
good one because now they have it where you just going right through. They used to be toll people, right?
Yeah, that shit's just a
Right. So
camera.
the Easy Pass was the first step to that, pretty much. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
And people was like shook, but guess what?
You're
The
right.
world moved on, bro. Like,
You're right. And this is another thing
I
you
mean,
gotta kind of really,
for all
really
my New Yorkers, don't worry. Google's telling me yes. The New York City MetroCard is officially going away with sales and refills ending December 31st, 2025. So it's a wrap
so it's a
for
wrap.
the new ones.
It's a wrap because you're
But,
gonna see this after.
all right, uh, the system is gonna stay the same. And then you're gonna splice together. We're gonna get back into it. But basically, you got about another year before it really, disappears. They're gonna allow us to transition. And if you got old Metro cars that still got money on it, you're still good. You could use it at least for another year. So, you know, 12 months. That's 12 months.
Word. But let's go back to what Mo was saying about the silver and the coins. Let's talk about coins a little bit, right? So when you think about silver, there's coins that are actually, I think, 90% silver, technically. So I think there's a specific amount of like, I guess, value when it comes to melting value. I don't know if that's what they call it, something like that. So technically, you know, you could even look at coins that you have, right? As far as collecting silver. That's like an example of how you can do this without actually having to maybe go buy a silver chain or, something like that. So, what do you think?
It's going to get crazy because I see a lot of jobs going away in 2025. The trend will continue. And so I think if you got loose change at your crib,
Yeah.
get on the internet. You never know, bro. You may have a penny that's worth thousands of dollars and
Word.
it's only a penny. You know,
So, yeah.
if you got the loose, like people gonna have to get kind of like, smart about resources.
So, give everybody another example. So, all US quarters minted before 1965. This is GPT. It says they're 90% silver, 10% copper. So what they call it is junk silver, but technically not junk like, you know, right? What we're saying. It just means circulated is what it says here. So their value is not about rarity for most dates, right? It's about silver content. So it's kind of what I was going back to, like the melting, piece of it, right? So
Well, the value of the multi, yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. Because it says pre 1965, based on the ounces or something like that, you can get something quarter could be 18 to 22 times face value just for the metal,
well, yeah,
just for the
because
metal.
because if it has, it's not gonna have, it's not gonna be an ounce worth of silver in it,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
But
mhm,
it will have, let's just say it has like a quarter of an ounce
mhm,
of silver.
mhm.
By today's rate, that means that it's gonna be worth $20 for a quarter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's still going up.
Look at it. It says most dealers will pay slightly below melt and sell slightly above melt.
Right.
See?
Because that's the process they got to capture,
See?
they got to spend to do that. I mean, part of the reason why
Crazy.
the penny's leaving is because it costs too much money to make it. You know what I mean? Like they ain't, look, right here. Over the past decade, the mint's cost to produce each penny has climbed from $1.42 to $3.69. People, it costs
Mm,
$3.69 to make 1 cent.
that's crazy.
Think about that.
What? For real? Yo, that's nuts.
Almost $4 to make a penny, nigga.
That's nuts.
That's why your eggs cost so much. That's why your price is running on everything. Because
I mean,
just a penny is actually almost $4.
yo, that's nuts.
It's wild, right?
But
So
yo,
they was like, yo, we gotta make we just like any other business, we gotta
yeah,
make business decisions. We can't keep minting pennies. People
you're
spending
right.
them as
You're
pennies,
right.
and it's costing the government
You're right.
almost $4. So they like, get it out of here. But yo, that's
Smart.
not good for us though. You know, it's not good.
Hmm.
What's gonna happen to my grandma?
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's still like, checkbooks and dollars, bro. Like, she like Venmo and Zelle. What the hell's all this?
You're right. The folks before us, they had
I
their
mean,
little, they had their routine. They write out they check. They got their list.
you seen
They
Cousin
doing their
Bang. He
thing.
don't even know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Bro, he's like, he's Cam is like, yo, Bang, it ain't like that no more, yo. Like, say I'm gonna send you some cash, but on your phone. He's like, nah, cash in hand. You know what I'm saying?
why?
It's not just him. It's tons of people in the world that they don't even understand what's going on, dog.
Yeah,
So, stay vigilant. 2026, boy. Stay vigilant.
yeah. Just thinking about um talking about coins now, just thinking about just I guess commerce, right? And it has there already I feel like there's already been a transition to everything basically being I would say 90% e-commerce,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
everything like we living in this e-commerce age. There's no like that physical retail like is not a large population anymore. Right now, that if anything, that is more just for like what like the experience, right? It's not like I would say the majority of the sales and everything are through online
I
sources,
mean,
right?
the majority of us, we gonna tap, we gonna swipe, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, so I don't know. It's weird. They trying to act like that's not. They're trying to act like that is physical. It's weird.
Cause, cause, cause
Like the
technically,
government now directly wants to like issue
right,
digital dollars. But
right.
I'm like, but what the hell is it when I swipe my card? Is that not a digital dollar? I'm confused.
Cause technically, it's like a digital transaction, right? Like
Yeah, of
you
course.
using
I'm
POS.
not, there's no
Yeah,
money being, you know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right. It's there's no money actually being
no, it's
exchanged.
just like
It's just
it's
a
just like
swipe.
information saying like, hey, this guy paid me $5 for
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and I gave him back,
yeah,
50 cents for that or whatever.
yeah.
That is uh
I
I
mean,
better
like when you think about, even the stuff you watch, your entertainment, right? Like majority now, unless you're going to a concert or a game, right? It's pretty much online.
it's all online, man, right? Like unless you run into those businesses like nah cash only, you know. But
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to get too far down like the possibilities as to why they want to do this and all that, you know what I mean? But
And we talking like 10 years ago, there were companies that you would probably consider as, brick and mortar retails, right? But they were trying to maneuver their way into calling themselves e-commerce. And we're talking about like 10 years ago.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's
I mean, but was that helpful to them? Do you think that was like the wave like they should have went? Or do you feel like, what do you think? Does that hinder corporations like, like, I don't
no,
know,
because
Macy's or
see, here's
anything?
the thing. Businesses love e-commerce because transactions happen in seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if they love like you using your MasterCard and your Visa, they gonna love it 10 times better when it's crypto time. because that happens in a second. They don't gotta wait for the bank to close. They don't gotta wait for the bank to reconcile the balances and be like, here's your money, here's your money, everybody, everything, we checked it out, everything is square.
Mm-hmm.
Now with what they're gonna roll in, it's all gonna happen right there within like 3 seconds. So for us, the consumer,
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna see any difference. It's gonna look the same, right? Like, like when you go into your like your online banking
Yep.
and then you'll see pending.
Yep.
But I mean, balance wise, the money's gone.
But it's gone.
But it's
Yeah.
but it's pending, right? Like, so
Yeah.
something could happen, they could reverse it and this and that.
Yep.
Retailers, they like are looking forward to getting rid of that, right? They're
Yep.
looking forward to like, yo, you scan the QR code, you send me your digital dollars, 30 seconds later, it's done.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So there's gonna be like micro economies that are gonna develop where you're gonna be able to get paid daily. You're gonna be able to get paid every shift. You're gonna be able, you know what I'm saying? Like, things are gonna change, and they probably gonna try to gear us up to like for everybody to make money like in the metaverse or something like that. You've seen the job numbers.
Yo,
They're gonna set it up. You're gonna put on your VR glasses, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like doing your thing in the VR
Yeah.
world,
Here we
just
go. Ready Player One.
exactly.
But there was another that surrogate you had, but that was awesome. Yeah, that was very similar. It
Jones
was just
Bruce
you had,
Willis.
yeah, you just had the body laying in the chair. That's almost like Electric State too, right? Like the new shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It had
yeah.
that shit too, where your shit was in a bot, like in a robot. Your
All
mind would
all these
travel.
listen, Amazon is like a treasure trove for what they try to roll out.
Right.
Um, you know, sci-fi, hey man, you believe what you want, be entertained, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they want money to move at the speed of the internet. And so that's what they're angling for. They're starting by taking out some physical metal. And that's why you see it makes no sense, right? You like, hey, if we gonna go digital, why is like physical silver going up so much?
Yeah.
Because we going digital, it's worth more now. Like, if
It
you actually have it, it's more valuable. Somebody's gonna want it.
yeah. It's just like if you have a specific generation iPhone, believe it or not, if it's in really good condition,
Yeah, it's a collector's item.
it's a
And
collector's
that's what
item.
it comes down to with the coins too. With the coins,
Yep.
if you get certain coins
Yep.
that are really old, you know, pennies used to be made with real copper, not
Yep.
anymore. And it
Yep.
still costs $4 to make a penny. Coins used to be made with real silver, not anymore. And this is just history, right? Like, you could go back and read about the Roman Empire and how they would
Mm-hmm.
do coin clipping and this.
Mm-hmm.
Every government has done this throughout time. So this is just our version. We going through it now as a society. This is the modern version of them cutting down the value of the money. You know what I mean?
Cutting down the value of the money. That is crazy.
Yeah. So that's why hedge funds were buying houses instead of regular people. That's why they're buying like land and farmland. That's why they're buying gold, silver, palladium, platinum, precious metals that are going to be used for like the renewable industry, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's all going to be valuable. Industrial metal, right? So
Yeah.
silver is an industrial metal. That's why it's exploding right now, because everybody want to get
Good
EVs
point.
and do this and do that. So they're like, all right, well,
Do we need this
how much
type?
you want to pay for it?
Yeah, it's just like if you haven't, for folks, like the book Principles, right, by Ray Diallo, like Dalio, sorry, my bad. Um he talks about how he made specific investments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he found a method that worked well, especially in the early 80s. As an example, with the chicken nugget, he was like, oh, McDonald's is coming out with this new thing, the chicken nugget.
Mm-hmm.
And he invested in all of the ingredients within the chicken nugget.
Word.
And he capitalized super, super crazy on that. What Mo is saying, is almost like you got to think about and consider, okay, what are the things that are going into these robotics? What are the things that are going into these cars? What are the things that are going into these trains, or whatever you name it,
Mm.
right? like, electrics and
Mhm.
things like that.
And so here's the thing, the way that they do mining for these precious metals, like silver is not the main metal that they go after, but it's becoming like the main metal that's being used in a lot of things. Um,
Mhm,
so but because of the way mining works, that means that they're gonna have to increase the mining of like copper and cobalt and like some other precious metals,
mhm,
and and by way of that, it's gonna raise how much like silver they're gonna capture too, right? But
mhm, mhm,
either way, these things are finite, man. There's a limit to it.
mhm.
I guess unless they use robots and do all sorts of crazy shit. There's a limit to it. You know what I'm saying? So that price is gonna keep going up because we going digital, we're going green, we're going AI, we're doing all this crazy shit. You know what? It might not be a bad idea to invest in water.
Yo, as crazy as it sounds, right? As crazy as it sounds, but this is probably an option. You gotta just look into it, folks. You just gotta look into it.
Just get
Listen, go to EYL, check those dudes out. They probably got even more in-depth information than we do because we not
hey,
we
we just
we
talking to you,
we
man.
just talking about
You gotta do the
yeah,
research. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
do the
Always,
research. We trying
always.
to put you on game,
We're trying to put you on,
but you gotta do
yeah,
the work,
yeah,
man. Like there's no shortcuts to this. You got the knowledge. If you see that we seem to have knowledge is because we've been reading a lot. You know, we've been kind of at it, trying to figure out what's happening around the corner
yeah,
and bring good information to y'all, man. We just regular people trying to stay ahead of inflation.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And come on the other side on top. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get crazy.
and what the way what we're seeing is, a lot of these things, everybody's seeing it as transitions, but for governments and such, like, yo, this is a part of their cycle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is them
So,
resetting. Yeah, sure.
so what we need everybody to do, and what we're going to continue to talk through, is different things like to consider for yourselves. Like, yo, what's my maintenance cycle look like, right? How am I like? Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bag, but what do I do to maintain the bag in specific ways, right? Like, we constantly hear about getting the bag, right? Well, okay, right? You can get to the bag, but you got to be able to maintain the bag. It's not just to get one bag, right? How do you build the longevity?
Listen, Nipsey Hussle said it. All money in, no money out.
Yo,
But the problem is when you ain't got the money coming in, the money will flow out. And so we talk about how you gonna maintain your coffers when everything is moving up in price. You gotta maintain your coffers.
yeah. So, when you talk about simple things like building habits, right? Those are the usual things. Like, okay, what are the type of habits you need to build in order to continue something? Being consistent, right? Trust the process, right? These are things you always hear. What we're gonna try to do is go beyond that. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna try to go beyond that. And um, what are these other plateaus that you need to consider? How do you really need to operate in specific ways, right? You know what I mean? Like we're gonna not try to sell you the buzz card words, with these conversations that
I
we
mean,
going
yo,
on.
when you have an idea going into this new year, let's say you have an idea for transportation. Like, you know what? Transportation could be a good business. It won't be unless you're thinking about it being autonomous or robotic. That's where you want to put your money at. That's where I'm not saying that that's what I would personally invest in, but what I'm saying is that's where they pushing us. They
Right,
pushing us towards robotics
right,
and automation. So look into those things, right? Like, and don't be lazy and just be like, oh, Nvidia.
right, 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 right,
Dig a little bit deeper and be
right,
like, who does Nvidia use to source
right,
to like make their chips and invest in the people that they get their raw materials from?
right.
It takes effort, you know what I mean? But a little bit of effort go a long way. It's gonna go a long way. I'm telling you, it's gonna go a long way because when it gets going, it's just gonna explode. So you either gonna be with the winners or you're gonna be sitting around watching everything transform around you. And you know, if you're old enough, it's you don't want to have that feeling that you had when .com took off
Yeah.
and you was just thinking that it wasn't going to happen, but it did.
Yeah, and there's some realistic things to think about, right? Yeah, everybody's always watching videos that are just talking about the glamorous, the glory, right, of things, but all of these things are not taken overnight. You know what I mean? Like there's a real regular piece of things that happen in between. Like you got to think about so what happens when you do get an initial bag, right? And now all of a sudden you're having some struggles, right? So how do you get through that growth, right? When it feels like it's going backwards. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. How do you keep the momentum going? Right? Like how do you keep it positive?
Yep.
Um,
Because it's not always gonna be available. That's the whole thing, right? Like that growth is not always gonna be available. How do you kind of get through that pocket when it's not available at that time? You know what I'm saying? Because that happens. And that's something that we need to just make sure. Because I think what happens is when people are not understanding that, they get discouraged and then they just flatline, right? So,
yeah, life is peace and valleys, right?
mhm.
So it's gonna be good days, it's gonna be bad days. Those bad days, man, you gotta shake that off as fast as you can and keep it moving.
So what's your framework, right? You gotta think about your framework, financial, um, you know,
Man, listen,
career, right? Like what does your work look like? Your mental and emotional,
it's
right?
financial, physical, and spiritual,
Mm,
or spiritual, physical, and financial,
mm,
however you want to put it.
mm.
But those three things are gonna be most important because when society starts to attack you, take your money, make you feel like it's not enough, like you're just not making ends meet, you better have something to ground you. You better have
Yep,
something to get you through that day. And I ain't talking about a bottle. I ain't talking about an L. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about like you really gotta
yep.
be able to get through it.
You
You know what I'm
can't you
saying?
can't you can't continue to own the block at 50. So we're gonna continue to talk about that
We
though,
gotta
right?
evolve, man. We
You
gotta
gotta
evolve. That's
evolve.
a young man's game,
Yeah,
dog. For real, that's a young man
it's just
game.
a time when it's time to just
Let top boy be top boy. Hey,
exactly. So, but yeah, just look forward to that.
yeah, man.
Yo, Leslie, we had a legendary show recently come to an end. And it just made me think about just talking through like, yo, like how hard is it to end like a legendary show or heavy popular show or even a movie, whatever, right? Like how do you and how hard is it to actually seal the deal in the best way possible? Like, are you able to satisfy the viewers or the audience, right? Like the fans, like
I think it's an impossible task, bro. Like I've
yeah,
been a part of now
yeah.
what I would deem as great shows. Like, by the way, we talking about Stranger Things.
That's
Stranger
an
Things just
example.
ended.
That's
Yeah,
an example.
yeah, we talking about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I mean, so the internet is ablaze.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people, I mean, I think most people was like,
yeah,
what WTF? Like,
yeah,
this is terrible, right?
yeah.
I think part of what hurt them is just like there was long gaps in between seasons and things like that, right? There was obviously a lot of off camera stuff that people caught wind of because like all
Mhm.
the tea leaves in Hollywood and all that. So I think that played a lot into what people were anticipating. I wouldn't say it was a terrible ending. I just don't know how you land that dismount, bro. Like that,
Yeah, it's
that
tough.
whole buildup was so crazy. You know which other one comes to mind? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was another one that we were all like, the fuck, like she's supposed to be the queen, and like what the fuck's going on? And this shit was like,
Yeah.
what are y'all doing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but that one too, it's like, look, I think that when you got a show and it goes past 5 seasons and they're
Yeah,
not like consecutively rolled out,
yeah.
you're gonna have a hard time holding the audience like really putting a bow on it. You know what I mean? Because it tells us the
Well,
audience you trying to create the ending, right? Like you trying to figure things out. Now I know numerically Stranger Things is just 5 seasons, but come on, let's be real. That joint came out in 2016.
yeah,
It's now
that's a lot of
2025.
work,
Like,
a lot of writing. Netflix, right? But yo, how
Many
do you
years in the making.
there's so many different type of audiences, different type of, viewers, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, yo, that's so hard. Like when you think about a platform like Netflix, that's worlds. You know what I'm saying? That's worldwide. So,
Yeah, I mean, it
you
might have
know,
been a group of people that was cool with how slow Max was moving to like get to freedom. But I was like, is she ever gonna run? Like, is she ever gonna try to
yeah.
go after it? Like, the hell is this about, man? You know what I'm saying? There's just so many moments I'm just sitting
Yeah.
there like throwing shit at the
Yeah.
screen. Like, yo, come on now.
Yo, like the last 20 minutes, he's like, yo, I get it, bro. Like,
I'm
done
like,
deal. Like,
yo,
let's clap it up.
you
Let's
know,
keep it
yeah.
moving.
I think they could have just ended it. No spoilers, but yeah, I think they could have just ended it like when the little niggas graduated.
Yeah,
That was it.
that was it.
That was
Yeah.
it.
But I think
Just
what they wanted to do was some closure to most of the
well,
characters.
because I guess
Because you had
everybody
you had two generations, well, three,
three,
technically,
three,
three
yeah.
generations, and then you sealed it off with the young generation to
Like
like,
I think they took so long to roll it up that I couldn't appreciate it really. Now that I saw like the younger kids, right? Like the
yeah,
ones who were in middle
yeah,
school, elementary school, and they were gonna go to high school next,
yeah,
and they kind of like took over,
yeah.
and like it felt correct, but it shit just took too long, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I read the Duff Brothers, kind of like spoiler and kind of
Okay.
why they did it the way they did. It makes sense. Like they wanted to make
Well,
sure they kind of
we they
right
I'll give them look.
sent off the
I'll
cast.
give them credit.
Yeah,
They pretty much kept everybody. Like they didn't kill off people that we really love like that,
you're
right?
right.
Like
You're right.
the one person that did end up catching it, we wasn't really invested in her, right? If anything, we like this bitch. You know what I mean? Like she trying to mess things
But
up or
yo,
whatever.
but yo, you know what's crazy to seal it off? Like it was dope the way there was the
Mm.
scene where it kind of went through the whole shit, right? I forgot if it was the Mind Slayer, like when it was almost like done, and it kind of went through some of the tragedies.
Oh, the flashbacks and stuff. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
it
way they did
killed
that
it,
was
right? It was like
yeah.
a Uncle Murder fucking
Yo,
scene, right?
it was a rap
So,
for real. It was a rap.
yo,
And
that
to
was
see yo, you know
fire.
what was bugging me out? I was like, dog, we've been watching this show since she looked like a little boy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And
Yeah,
now, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we've seen these people mature on screen. It's
yeah,
fucking wild,
yeah.
dog.
Hopefully nothing reckless happened. You know where we at. Just regular.
Yo, stay spice.
Oh man. Peace.